World Teen Mental Wellness Day is March 2nd. A new CDC report came out about teen mental health, and joined me to give insight what parents, schools, and teens themselves can do to help teens with mental health is Kyle Mitchell, who has a new book out. Good morning, Kyle. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Good. This is a very important topic that we need to talk about, but we want to do it in a light little way. And the reason why is that we feel that more teens address it when it's done in a light manner, not so serious and not so much almost like attacking them. And that's something that you want to talk about, is how we do discuss this as a community, which is so important. We know you have a new book out. But let's talk about mental health in our teens, because we see these numbers growing incredibly.
Yeah, I'm glad you put it that way. I like to keep it a lot more, open and light, almost kind of fun. I like to put humor into the conversation because I think you're right on, and people don't want to talk to us about it because it's seen as such a serious topic, when we need to be more open about it. Like, we all experience anxiety. We all have experienced depression before. We don't have to be so serious about it. Sure, there's serious parts of mental health for sure, and we need to, take it seriously. But I want to get it to a point where we're open to just talk about it.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about your new book coming out. And of course, you have some tips for us to work with the mental health in teens. So give us a couple of tips that you recommend.
Sure. So the book is all about being proactive with your mental health. So I know we talk a lot about how to be, reactive. When you start feeling anxious, do this. I'm more into the sense when it comes to this book about on the proactive side. And one great way to do that is to start a healthy morning routine. So first, let's look and assess what you're doing in the morning, first of all. So I know a lot of us will, get on our rectangles here. And that's the first thing that we do in the morning, is we start bombarding our brain with all this excess stimuli, all this information, checking the weather, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it may be. And we're literally going from our most peaceful state of mind, from we're asleep, we just wake up, to just absolutely bombarding it with information, which creates anxiety. So that might be one thing that we can eliminate. Now, okay, how can we make this more of a healthy morning routine? Well, one thing that we can do is start adding practices in your morning routine that are beneficial to you, and do it one at a time, because obviously we don't want to overload ourselves and say, hey, I'm gonna start doing, ice baths and gratitude and meditation for 20 minutes every single day. Let's start with one thing and start with it really, really, really small. So let's say, hey, I'm gonna, not be on my phone for the first 30 minutes to an hour, and I'm gonna do 5 minutes of meditation every morning. Yeah. That way I get 5 minutes to myself before I go and take on the day. And that way you're able to prepare yourself and kind of get your mind in the right, shift to be able to take on the day and anything that might come at you that might cause anxiety.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Kyle, those are two awesome ways that we could start doing it, putting the phone away, but also giving ourselves time to jumpstart our day, which is so important. So this is a great book. Tell people how they can find out more information, of course, how they also can start helping teens and communities address the mental health problems that we're seeing.
Yeah, so you can find the book. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to feellessanxious.com, and it'll show you everywhere that it's available. But as far as just coming together as a community, we just need to be more open about this. And it starts with you. It starts with you making that uncomfortable step to be a little bit vulnerable and share with your friend, your parent, your son or daughter about, what's going on inside you. And I promise you, being able to unleash those emotions that you're holding in as a burden is so helpful. Now, is it the cure-all for whatever you're going through? No, but it will provide a lot of relief. And for you to make that first brave step, that just gets the snowball rolling with everybody else.
Yeah, it's so important. Kyle, I appreciate you joining us this morning, and definitely we need to keep the conversation going on mental health in general. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.